Joining me right now is UFC flyweight Gillian Robertson. Gillian, thank you so much for the time. You just got out of a training session. What were you working on today?
Just some jujitsu. I got to work at Gamblers with Tubby Aliquin. She's a world champion in jujitsu, world champion black belt. So it's an honor to work with her, and just some good rounds today.
All right, sounds good. Now, one thing I always wanted to ask you is about your hair. It's the reddest of red. You always keep it so bright. I just wanted to compliment you on the hair, and I just wondered, what's the inspiration behind that color?
Honestly, I don't really know. I guess I make a lot of impulsive choices in my life. When I was like, I just really just decided one day. It was right before I turned pro. So all my pro fights, I've had like a reddish hair. It was a little bit lighter whenever I first turned pro, and then I just kept on going brighter and brighter. But yeah, I really have no idea why the color, but I think it fits, and it's the only time I've ever dyed my hair. So I'm actually kind of scared to go any other color.
Oh, have you ever thought about any other colors though?
I've thought about purple, honestly, but it's a bold move.
Yeah, it is. It is. Not many, I don't know, outfits fit with purple hair, right?
Yeah, honestly, even with the red, I own a lot of black clothes and a lot of white clothes. Well, not as much white because the red will make it a little bit pink. So I own a lot of black clothes.
All right. Now, I saw, I was checking out the Did Diaries, right? Because you're featured on it, and it showed you longboarding, and I was just thinking, like, when did you get into that? Like, I haven't seen you doing that in any videos in the past.
Honestly, I bought it just because I live across the street from Dean now. So
Mhm.
he lives like probably I think it's like a 3-minute ride on my longboard. So I bought it just as an easy way to get over to his house before training. So that's when I started longboarding.
Okay, okay. So do you go out there and actually practice, or is it just like when you go to his house, you just ride that and ride it back?
Yeah, it's just kind of his transportation, but I used to as a kid, so it's still just like natural to me.
All right. Now, also on that video, I saw that you went to South Carolina to work with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. How was that trip and working with the fighters in his gym?
Obviously, like, they're the fastest people in the world. I think with their karate style, the way he moves, it was awesome to be able to be out there and work with him. Obviously, he's the nicest person in the world. I don't think I've ever had that many high fives. Like, he's just so positive about everything. So it was awesome to be out there, and Dean's talking about getting us out there again soon. So hopefully, we'll be able to make that.
Are you gonna drive out there again? Was the drive nice, or was it something that you could do without?
It's something I can do without. Dean's the one who likes to drive. He'd drive anywhere. He prefers the driving over the flying. But for me, it's a little bit too much time consuming for me. I prefer to just get there quick and be able to start training.
It almost seems like he likes the pit stops at the convenience stores more than anything.
Oh yeah, you see all those hot dogs in the Dean Dyer's. Not my not my pick, but he's all for it.
Yeah, for sure. Now with Wonderboy, you got some lessons in with him, some sessions. What did you get most out of that?
Like I said, they're so fast, so their movement. That's what Dean really wanted to break down about him. I feel like what makes him one of the greatest coaches in the world is that he's willing to admit when he doesn't know something or when somebody knows something better than him. And he knows that Wonderboy is one of the best at the movement in the game. So he wanted to figure out his secrets, figure out what makes this movement so great. So that's really why we're going up there and to just break that down. So I learned a lot about that.
All right. Now, 2020 was a year of challenges for yourself, for me, for everybody in the world, but you got to do your job and go out there and fight. And it almost seemed like it benefited you more because in the past, when I've talked to you, you always talked about, man, I don't fight enough, but it seems like you're fighting more often now. Is it better for you? Like, even, in your last loss, you dropped a decision, but it almost seemed like you're getting this on the job training that is going to benefit you in the long run.
I 100% feel agree with you. Like you said, I'm getting like on the job training. I almost feel like I got into the UFC almost too young. I was only 3 and 2, and I didn't have a lot of experience. So now I've been doing a lot of my learning on the big stage in the UFC cage. So I feel like we've been able to see a lot of that, but we've been correcting a lot of mistakes over this last year. Just trial and error. Just keep on working hard. Of course, I have Dean now working with me every single day. So really, I think 2021 is going to be my year to shine. It's going to be the year that I really make my come up, because we've just really been putting the puzzle pieces together.
After that last fight, inside the cage, you were visibly frustrated. You know what I mean? You weren't like beat up or anything like that, but you were frustrated like with your performance. Take us into your mind at that moment.
I at that moment, it's just like I put everything into this. Like literally the whatever it was, 5-6 weeks that I knew about the fight, I'm sitting there and I have no days off. I'm doing 3 days on Saturdays, still training on Sundays, doing 2 days every single day or 3 days every single day, just literally burning myself out, crying almost every other day because I'm just so stressed. And then all that hard work, everything that I put into that one moment, into those 15 minutes, and it's gone. It's just you didn't live up to that moment. You weren't enough for that moment. So that's really all that it hits hard there. But as soon as I walk out of the cage, like by the time I'm getting my stitches, I was getting my stitches in my nose. I'm thinking it's over. Like get on to the next one, just move forward, and it's done. There's nothing I can do about it. So there's no reason to sit there and cry about it. I just got to look on to the next fight and keep on moving forward.
That's incredible that you have a mind like that, because if I was in that situation, I'd probably it would stick with me for a long time. You know what I mean? But for yourself, I guess you do need to have that mindset to get a fight quick, to get that quick turnaround.
Honestly, the hardest part for me is everybody else's reaction. Because then for the next like 2-3 months, you're seeing people like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry about this," and it's like I don't want to think about that. Like I'm already moved on to the next one, and then they just keep on pulling me back to that. Whereas like I have to think about it again.
Well, 11 days later, you were grappling at Submission Underground, and you tapped out Pro Gonzalez with a rear naked choke. It must have felt good to end 2020 on a high note.
Oh yeah, and honestly, that was I took my stitches out the day before me and Pearl grappled. So the UFC doctor, he told me, he's like, you can take your stitches out 7 to 9 days, and then you can or 7 to 10 days, and then you can start grappling after 21 days. And that was 11 days after the fight. So it wasn't doctor advised that I grappled there, but I did it anyway. And about 30 seconds in, I had blood dripping down my nose because of it. I think it was like the first exchange of the match. I got a sweep, and then I came up and I just see a little drip of blood. I was like, oh, damn it. Like I knew that it was going to happen, but I was just hoping that I could keep it good so it didn't scar up worse. But to be able to get the choke is obviously dope. I was able to end the year on a high note.
Definitely. Did you have to get stitches again on the nose?
I just put a little super glue on it and hope that it stayed together. It didn't open up all the way. It was just a little tiny bit. But the UFC doctor did such a good job of making sure I didn't have a scar, and then it opened it up again. So it was frustrating to me. I'm like, I'm trying to stay cute over here.
Yeah, definitely. Well, fighter DIY, what is it? The super glue. I guess every fighter has it somewhere in their bag, right?
Oh yeah, that's the go-to usually. Over the years, I've seen so many people. You just lay them down on the mat, dry it off a little bit, put some like clean it up, and then put some super glue on it. You're good.
All right, now you're scheduled to face Miranda Maverick at UFC 258. Was this something that was in the works, or did you just find out about it just like us last week?
I just found out about it, I think, 2 days before it was announced. Mm-hmm. Dean Thomas just texted me. He was like, Miranda Maverick, February 13th, and that means it's a go. Like, I don't say yes or no. That means that we're running it. Dean just texted me the name and date, and we're good to go.
Is Maverick someone that you've been watching over the years at Invicta, or is she new to you?
She's someone I respect a lot because I feel like she's a gamer like me, where she's trying to compete as often as possible. She's always doing grappling tournaments, and that's actually where I've ran into her before. We both competed at the same tournament, I think sometime last year. So yeah, I have a lot of respect for her, and I actually expected us to be matched up last time when I got Andrea Lee and then Toledo Santos, but I expected her name, and so I'm happy to have that. I love a challenge.
Definitely. There are a lot of similarities in your guys' style. You guys can go to the ground and get some violent finishes on the ground with submissions. And so what do you think about her, her skill set? What makes her different from you?
I feel like you say, she's a lot like me. We kind of have the similar kind of style. The only difference, she's a southpaw, and I feel like I'm just that little bit better. I have that little bit more experience, and Yeah, I think I have what it takes to win this fight, but we are kind of the same fighter. I feel like I just have that little bit of extra edge, a little bit more experience.
She has one fight in the UFC. Did you get the chance to break that down, and what did you think about it?
I honestly haven't studied her a lot yet. Dean does most of my studying for my opponent, so he's doing all that, and then he'll tell me like, you need to work your single leg or you need to work your double leg, and tell me what I need to work specifically for this fight. So I don't study my opponent a lot. Maybe if I'm getting a little bit of nerves, I'll watch their fights, and it helps me calm me down a little bit. You know, makes them a little bit more human to me. So I'll do that. But other than that, I try not to watch the fights too much.
It's opposite from other fighters because they get more nerves watching their opponent rather than not watching them.
I think if I watch them too much, then I get too much into, all right, they're gonna do this. So it's like, say I'm expecting a jab when I first come out, and when that jab doesn't happen, I'm sitting there and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting for it. But if I don't watch their fights, then I can go out there and just kind of play my game. I can go out there and fight my fight and just impose my will.
Without revealing too much, heading into 2021, what has Dean told you that you need to change, or maybe something that you need to do with your training, diet, or anything fight related?
We're changing everything. We're just making sure that I'm a well-rounded fighter. I'm a complete fighter, and finally I want to get that 3-0, like 3 victories in a row. With the UFC so far, I've been 2-2-1 every time. I keep on getting 2 wins, a loss, 2 wins, a loss. We're 3 times in a row. So hopefully we can break that streak. We can get at least 3 in a row. Hopefully more than that. So yeah, we're just looking for that right now.
So how do you envision this fight playing out?
Everybody knows I'm looking for my throat cuddles, going straight for the throat always. Just that's the ideal game plan every time.
I like that, throat cuddles. Did you make that up?
Yeah, just me and my friends joking around because we were like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna cuddle you until you fall asleep. You know, it's nice and gentle.
Yeah, definitely. That is. Yeah, I guess it is what it is. If you do choke somebody nice and gentle, they still can fall asleep.
It's a snuggle with a struggle. That's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Have you set any new goals for yourself heading into 2021?
I guess all my goals just I look at it fight to fight. So right now I'm just moving forward day by day. I have daily goals every time, and then right now my goal is Miranda Maverick. It's just win that next one.
Now, we always talk about fighting, but I wanted to ask you something outside of fighting. Like, what are some of your passions outside of fighting? Like, what do you do to fill in those gaps?
I guess honestly, I feel like to be a world champion, I need to have that one passion, and I need to be dedicated to this one thing. So really, my mind and everything, all my free time goes towards fighting. Even like I try to focus everything towards this one dream and this one goal. So yeah, I don't really have any other passions right now.
All right. Well, it's all good. February 13th, UFC 258. It's a major card too, pay-per-view. Thank you so much, Gillian, for the time, and good luck on the fight, and all the best to you.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Take a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling.